Now, I just wanted to put together a little video just to explain my thoughts and feelings on the upcoming Spider-Man Miles Morales game. Yes, I know there's a lot of footage that's coming out at the moment, but I'm going to tell you why I'm trying my best to avoid that footage. And mainly, it's because I'm already excited. Now, the reason that I'm avoiding as much footage as possible is fairly simple. Everything I saw in the gameplay demo, the original 7 minutes, was more than enough for me. We know that this game isn't going to be the longest game ever, and to be honest with you, there's a fair few things that really I didn't want to know. Now, obviously, it's great to have these things there for the people that really want to get into the nitty gritty before the game comes out, but personally I wasn't worried about how they were going to deliver or what they were going to do with this game. In fact, I actually like having things to look forward to, especially when it comes to titles that I like. And I know for a second you're going to go, but Bam, what about Assassin's Creed Valhalla? You've taken a deep dive look into that. I know I have. That's because I didn't have as high hopes for the Assassin's Creed Valhalla title. However, having a deep dive look into that really made me feel confident about wanting to pick that up for a purchase. I'm sure there's other people that looked at the sort of deep dive and closer look and actually felt like it wasn't the game for them, but for me, it's only enticed me more. And there's a few tidbits and stuff that have come out in recent times, like, personally, I didn't need to know that Rhino was going to be the first boss that I tackle, you know? I like to have that sort of element of surprise. I personally think that we're at a point in time now where there's so much information, where people are trying to oversell stuff. Sony literally could have just put Spider-Man Miles Morales on a black cover saying PS5, and I would have still been excited for the game. But fair enough, they gave us a nice gameplay demo that really highlighted a fair few of the features already, and also just how they've upped the level. The other thing that I thought worked really well is a sneak peek at the actual remaster itself, because you can start to understand how the graphics have been updated and how that's going to work out when moving on to the next part in the storyline. But as I'm saying, what I don't need, and this goes for movies as well, right? I don't need a teaser announcement for when the trailer's going to come out. I don't need another teaser before that trailer comes out, and then a teaser that tells you the date that the trailer's going to come out, just to watch a trailer that actually has as much spoilers as possible, because let's face it, in a movie that's only like 2 hours long, you're only going to have X, Y, and Z actual big moments, and a lot of those moments you want to see in their best capabilities, especially when it comes to gaming. Those moments, like your first boss or the combat system, I want to witness those things firsthand. This is not an attack on anyone. I think it's great that Game Informer have been able to get their hands on this and show us a lot of what's going on, but I also feel like if you really need to go and watch like a bunch of gameplay footage coming out on the game that you know is not going to be much longer than what, like 10 hours tops or something like that, right? Then you're really ruining some of the core moments. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more, but there is nothing greater than just picking up a game for the first time and just getting into it. Like, that is one of the most pleasurable things you can actually do as far as gaming is concerned. And I know that they put these things out there because, look, not everybody can confidently throw their money at everything, right? But I feel like Spider-Man Miles Morales was a safe bet, yeah? I understand that there's a lot of people in this world at this point in time that really need to make sure that everything is gonna be alright. And that's completely fine. Like, but at the same time, you know what's also great? Having faith and having hope that a title that you loved so much the first time round is going to come back and deliver. And you know what? For me, I don't want to go on to like watch this video, then I'm going to scroll down and look at the comments. I'm already going to have people sort of pushing a bias towards this, and this is what we're seeing massively across the board at the moment. There's such a concern with the entire console war that people are using any little tidbit of information that they can do to try and hold and lord over the other side by being like, well, we've got this and that and this and that. You know what? Play the game. Just play the game for a bit and enjoy it yourself, you know? Not everything needs to be online and just formed an opinion of once before it's even come out. That's how I feel at this point in time, you know? I feel it about movies and I feel it about games at this point as well. Like, there's nothing worse, right, than you see a trailer come out for a movie and then suddenly there's 1,000 theory videos online with everyone speculating X, Y, and Z, and one of them is always going to be right in some shape or form, and that kind of ruins a lot of the elements that actually go in to making and crafting this storyline that's meant to be delivered as something that you take on. your personal journey, not the general bias and the general opinion that's being formed already before a game even drops. We've seen how that affects things heavily, especially this year when it came to The Last of Us Part 2. I don't understand why people are on such a quest to just know everything as far as any game or movie goes, just so they can then get in the comments and go, yeah, well, technically, blah, 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 blah. Like, all of that is something that I'm really not on board with, and that personally is why I am avoiding as much information as I can about the game, especially visually. Like I'm saying, I want the combat to be as fresh as possible. I don't want to second-hand it. I want to first-hand experience that for myself. So yeah, that is the reason why I won't be doing reaction videos to Spider-Man, but at the same time, that's the reason why I'm looking into certain other games. And I completely get it. If you're on the fence somehow about if this game is going to be worth a playthrough, then fair enough. Like, fair enough, go and look at all of the footage and make a decision before that. But I mean, if you enjoyed the first game, I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy this game. That's just my thoughts and feelings. They did a very, very good job with the original take on what they done, and they really brought a fresh vibe into comic book games, which was needed at this point in time. Like, you know, we have been bled dry of actual good gaming content as far as comic books go, and the funny thing about that is we've also been spoiled in other forms of media with the exact same genre. So I personally really am looking forward to Miles Morales, and I don't need to look at any of that footage other than the original gameplay demo that got dropped in the PS5 event, because you know what? That was enough for me, man. I was already sold. Sony, you ain't got to keep beating us over the head with every day a new piece of information or so on and so forth. Just let us have some stuff to look forward to. The game's not even that long, you know? It's not even that long. But yeah, that's my thoughts and feelings. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. This isn't a personal attack on anybody. Like I said, you want to watch everything and spoil major elements for yourself ahead of time? That's completely cool. You can do that 100%. But what happened to the mysticism, man? Do you remember when you used to just get a demo disc, right? And a magazine? I'm sure a lot of you don't. But that's all we used to have to go on a lot of the time. And other than that, we had our imagination and our hopes and our dreams, you know? And I just kind of really miss that element a lot of the time. Like, there's this massive thing at this point where people just want to know it all, just so they can go on a comment section or go on Twitter and just be like, oh, well, technically X, Y, and Z, and kind of make it boring, you know? What happened to the days where we just speculate what we wanted in a game? I hope this gets added. I hope they do that. We already know. Like, you know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm getting old. I'm not too sure. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment. I can't believe I've just ranted for like 10 whole minutes on this, but it is what it is. I'm literally not even doing that for monetization's sake. I hope I edit this down to less than 10 minutes because I'm not some YouTube show. I don't just need the views or whatever. This is just a personal thought and feeling as far as the game goes. Basically, I just wanted to say I'm really excited for it regardless, and we're getting so close now anyway. It's like Christmas. You know, it's like Christmas. You put stuff on a list and you hope you get it, but you don't know until the day. What you don't want is Santa Claus rolling up in November and being like, ho, 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 you ain't even getting that shit. You're getting this instead. Like, come on, man. Anyway, like, leave me your thoughts and feelings. I'm definitely going to do some more of these opinion pieces. So I hope people enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments, as I said, your thoughts and feelings. But also, if you want to hear me talk a little bit more on, you know, what do I want to see from the game? And things like that, you know? Yeah, quick vid. Take it easy. Take care of yourselves. Look out for each other as always. And that YouTuber stuff if you want to. Like, share, subscribe. And if not, just go about your day, innit? Like, it is what it is.